People spend too much of their lives fighting battles that were never meant to be theirs. Every opinion becomes a wound. Every criticism becomes a burden. Every rejection feels like a verdict, and every misunderstanding feels like a call to defend themselves. Little by little, they surrender something priceless, their peace. They hand over the keys to their happiness, to strangers, to circumstances, to moments that should have passed like the wind. The tragedy is not that the world is loud. The tragedy is that so many people have allowed that noise to become the voice inside their own minds. But there comes a moment in every meaningful life when a person must make a decision to stop carrying what was never theirs to hold, a decision to stop explaining themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them, a decision to stop measuring their worth by applause, approval, or acceptance. That moment is where true freedom begins. Not the freedom to control the world, but the freedom to remain steady while the world does what it has always done. Change, criticize, judge, and move on. Strength is often misunderstood. Many believe strength is proving someone wrong, having the last word, or responding to every insult with greater force. Yet the strongest people rarely waste their energy on proving anything. They understand that every reaction is an investment, and not every situation deserves their attention. They know that peace is not passive. It is a deliberate choice, a quiet declaration that says, I refuse to let someone else's chaos become my identity. Today, we are going to explore what it truly means to stay unbothered, not because life becomes easier, but because you become wiser. We will uncover how to protect your mind from unnecessary noise, how to stand firm in the face of criticism, how to guard your energy from those who seek to drain it, and how to develop a calm that no opinion, setback, or disappointment can steal. Because the greatest victory is not convincing the world of your value. It is knowing your value so deeply that the world can no longer make you question it. Your peace is the one possession that no one can take from you without your permission. Yet, every day, people surrender it freely. They allow careless words to disturb their thoughts, temporary setbacks to define their confidence, and the opinions of strangers to shape the way they see themselves. They wake with hope, but end the day exhausted, not because life demanded too much, but because they carried emotional burdens that never belonged to them. The world will always offer distractions, disappointments, and disagreements. It will always test your patience and challenge your resolve. But none of these things have the authority to control your inner world unless you choose to hand them that authority. There is a quiet kind of strength that does not announce itself. It does not argue to prove its worth. It does not chase validation or seek applause. It simply remains steady. That steadiness is born from understanding that peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of clarity. It is the ability to separate what deserves your attention from what deserves your silence. Every moment you spend worrying about things beyond your control is a moment stolen from your own growth. Every argument you refuse to enter becomes an investment in your future. Every unnecessary burden you put down creates room for wisdom to rise. Many people believe that protecting their peace means avoiding challenges or pretending that pain does not exist. It means neither. Peace is not denial. Peace is courage expressed through calm. It is looking directly at difficulty without allowing fear to become your identity. It is facing criticism without believing every harsh word spoken about you. It is accepting that misunderstandings are inevitable and realizing that not every person is meant to understand your journey. Some people will judge you based on their own fears, their own limitations, and their own experiences. Their opinions reveal more about their perspective than they ever could about your potential. Imagine carrying a heavy suitcase every single day. At first, it feels manageable, but as the hours pass, the weight becomes unbearable. Now imagine discovering that the suitcase was never yours. How quickly would you set it down? This is what happens when you stop carrying resentment, comparison, guilt that no longer serves a purpose, and the endless need to satisfy everyone around you. Most of the emotional weight people carry has been borrowed from expectations that were never truly their own. Freedom begins the moment you recognize the difference between responsibility and unnecessary emotional baggage. Protecting your peace also requires discipline. It means choosing carefully what enters your mind, the conversations you entertain, the voices you listen to, the environments you remain in, and the thoughts you repeat to yourself all shape the quality of your inner life. A peaceful mind is not created by accident. It is built through daily decisions. It is strengthened every time you refuse to let bitterness replace compassion, every time you choose gratitude over complaint, and every time you remind yourself that your value cannot be increased by praise or reduced by criticism. The greatest power you will ever possess is not the ability to control every circumstance around you, but the wisdom to remain rooted in your own peace while everything around you continues to change. The greatest mistake people make is believing that someone else has the power to determine how they feel. A harsh comment ruins an entire day. A single rejection becomes proof that they are not good enough. One act of disrespect convinces them that their value has diminished. Without realizing it, they hand over the steering wheel of their emotions to people who may not even think about them again. Emotional freedom begins when you understand that your feelings are your responsibility. Others may influence your environment, but they do not have the authority to define your state of mind unless you willingly surrender that authority. Every person you meet carries different beliefs, experiences, and expectations. Some will encourage you, while others will criticize you. Some will celebrate your growth, while others will feel threatened by it. If you build your emotional stability on the reactions of other people, your peace will rise and fall with every opinion you encounter. One compliment will make you feel unstoppable, and one insult will make you question everything about yourself. That is not confidence. That is dependence. True confidence is born when your sense of worth comes from within, rather than from the unpredictable approval of the world around you. Criticism has a unique way of exposing what we believe about ourselves. If you secretly doubt your abilities, even a small negative remark can feel overwhelming. If you have learned to trust your own character, criticism becomes information rather than identity. Some criticism contains wisdom and deserves reflection. Other criticism is simply the projection of another person's frustration, insecurity, or misunderstanding. Wisdom lies in knowing the difference. Not every voice deserves a permanent place in your mind. You can listen without accepting. You can hear without believing. You can acknowledge someone's opinion without allowing it to reshape your self-worth. Many people spend years trying to control how others perceive them. They adjust their personality to gain approval, silence their opinions to avoid conflict, and sacrifice their authenticity to fit into expectations they never created. Yet the more they chase acceptance, the more exhausted they become. The truth is that no matter how kind, intelligent, or successful you are, there will always be someone who misunderstands you. Trying to satisfy everyone is like trying to hold water in your hands. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Real freedom begins when you stop performing for the audience and start living according to your principles. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings or pretending that hurt does not exist. It is about refusing to let temporary emotions become permanent decisions. Anger may visit, but it does not have to become your identity. Disappointment may arrive, but it does not have to define your future. Fear may whisper, but it does not have to determine your actions. Every emotion carries a message, but not every emotion deserves to become your master. Strong people acknowledge what they feel, learn from it, and then choose their response with intention instead of reacting impulsively. When you reclaim control over your emotions, life begins to change in remarkable ways. You become less distracted by gossip, less shaken by rejection, and less dependent on recognition. You no longer waste precious energy trying to convince people of your value because you already know it. You stop allowing temporary opinions to overshadow permanent truths about who you are. The world may continue to judge, criticize, misunderstand, and compare, but none of those things can disturb a mind that has learned to stand firmly on the foundation of self-respect, inner clarity, and emotional independence. Many people believe that strength is measured by how quickly they respond, how loudly they defend themselves, or how effectively they prove someone wrong. They feel compelled to answer every accusation, challenge every insult, and explain every decision. In doing so, they unknowingly give away their time, energy, and peace. The strongest response is not always spoken. Sometimes the greatest display of confidence is silence. Silence is not surrender. It is wisdom, choosing not to waste itself where it cannot be appreciated. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows that not every battle deserves to be fought, and not every opinion deserves a reply. There is a remarkable difference between being silent because you are afraid and being silent because you are secure. Fearful silence hides from confrontation. Confident silence rises above it. When you truly know who you are, you no longer feel an urgent need to convince everyone else. Your character speaks louder than your explanations, and your actions become more persuasive than your arguments. Those who constantly seek validation often believe they must defend themselves against every misunderstanding. Those who possess inner confidence understand that time eventually reveals the truth more clearly than endless words ever could. Every unnecessary reaction comes with a hidden cost. It drains emotional energy that could have been invested in growth, creativity, learning, or meaningful relationships. Imagine spending hours replaying an argument in your mind, crafting the perfect response long after the conversation has ended. While your thoughts remain trapped in that moment, life continues moving forward without you. Opportunities appear, lessons unfold, and precious time slips away. The person who disturbed your peace may have already forgotten the encounter, yet you continue carrying it within you. Silence allows you to release what no longer deserves your attention and redirect your focus toward what truly matters. Not every criticism requires a defense because not every criticism is rooted in truth. Some people judge without understanding. Others speak from jealousy, frustration, or their own unresolved pain. If you spend your life responding to every false assumption, you will never have enough time to build the life you truly desire. The mature mind learns to ask a simple question before reacting. Will this response improve my future, or will it simply satisfy my ego for a moment? More often than not, the answer reveals that silence is the wiser choice. It protects your dignity while denying unnecessary conflict the attention it seeks. Silence also creates space for observation. When emotions settle, clarity emerges. Instead of reacting impulsively, you begin to notice patterns in people and situations. You recognize who genuinely wants understanding and who merely wants conflict. You learn that some conversations are invitations to growth, while others are traps designed to provoke emotional reactions. By refusing to respond immediately, you give yourself the opportunity to choose wisdom over impulse. This pause becomes a source of strength because it places you in control rather than allowing circumstances to control you. History has always remembered individuals whose composure remained intact under pressure. Their influence did not come from speaking the most or arguing the loudest. It came from their ability to remain steady when others lost control. Calmness has a quiet authority that noise can never imitate. When people expect anger and receive composure instead, they witness a level of discipline that commands respect without demanding it. Silence is not emptiness. It is a deliberate expression of self-mastery, revealing that true power belongs to the person who has learned that preserving peace is far more valuable than winning every argument, and that dignity often grows strongest in the moments when no words are spoken every day. Your attention is being pulled in countless directions. News competes for your focus. Social media demands your reaction. Opinions surround you, and endless distractions quietly consume your time. Yet the most valuable resource you possess is not money, talent, or even time. It is your energy. Where your energy goes, your life follows. Whatever consistently occupies your mind eventually shapes your emotions, influences your decisions, and determines the quality of your future. That is why learning to choose your energy wisely is one of the greatest forms of self-respect. You cannot live a peaceful life while giving equal importance to everything that demands your attention. Many people spend enormous amounts of energy worrying about things they cannot control. They replay old conversations, imagine future problems that may never happen, compare their lives with others, and search for approval from people whose opinions will never truly satisfy them. By the end of the day, they feel mentally exhausted, not because they accomplished something meaningful, but because they allowed unnecessary thoughts to occupy valuable space in their minds. The mind, like a garden, produces whatever receives the most care. If you constantly water fear, resentment, and comparison, those emotions will grow stronger. If you nurture gratitude, purpose, and hope, your inner world begins to reflect those qualities instead. Choosing your energy wisely means recognizing that not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every conflict requires your participation. Society often celebrates being busy, but being busy is not the same as being productive. A person can spend an entire day reacting to distractions and still move nowhere. Meaningful progress comes from directing your attention toward what aligns with your values, instead of chasing every demand placed before you. The ability to say no is not selfish. It is a declaration that your peace and purpose deserve protection. Relationships also shape the quality of your energy. The people you spend time with influence the way you think, speak, and see yourself. Some individuals encourage growth simply through their presence. They inspire confidence, honesty, and kindness. Others leave you feeling drained, anxious, or constantly defensive. While you cannot always choose everyone you encounter, you can choose how much access they have to your emotional world. Healthy boundaries are not walls built to keep people out. They are doors that allow the right influences to enter while preventing unnecessary negativity from taking permanent residence in your life. There is also great wisdom in choosing where to place your emotional investment. Every disappointment does not deserve days of sorrow. Every mistake does not deserve endless guilt. Every criticism does not deserve hours of reflection. Ask yourself whether the issue you are worrying about today will matter a year from now. In many cases, the answer is no. This simple perspective can prevent temporary problems from becoming permanent burdens. Your energy is too valuable to be spent on situations that cannot contribute to your growth or your peace. The most fulfilled people are not those who have avoided hardship. They are those who have learned to protect their attention from what weakens them and invest it in what strengthens them. They understand that every choice carries an invisible cost. Every minute spent in resentment is a minute taken away from gratitude. Every moment spent comparing yourself to others is a moment stolen from becoming your best self. Every ounce of energy wasted on unnecessary conflict is energy that could have been used to build a meaningful future. Life becomes lighter, clearer, and more purposeful when you stop allowing every distraction to enter your mind and begin treating your energy as one of the most precious gifts you have ever been given. The world will never stop changing. People will continue to offer opinions. Unexpected challenges will appear without warning, and circumstances will often unfold beyond your control. If your stability depends on everything around you remaining perfect, you will spend your life waiting for a peace that never arrives. Lasting strength is not built by controlling the world. It is built by mastering yourself. To become unshakable from within is to create a foundation so strong that no criticism, disappointment, or obstacle can easily break your spirit. It is the quiet confidence that remains standing even when life becomes uncertain. Most people search for security in external things. They believe success will finally make them confident, wealth will make them fearless, or recognition will make them feel complete. Yet, history is filled with successful people who still struggled with insecurity because they built their identity on things that could disappear. Titles can be lost. Money can come and go. Applause eventually fades. When your confidence depends entirely on what the world gives you, the world also gains the power to take it away. Real strength begins when your identity is rooted in your values, your character, and your purpose instead of temporary achievements. Every challenge life places before you carries an opportunity to strengthen your inner foundation. Difficult moments reveal habits that comfortable moments often hide. They expose your fears, your doubts, and the beliefs you hold about yourself. Rather than seeing hardship as proof that life is against you, begin seeing it as training for the person you are becoming. A tree grows stronger because it faces the wind, not because it avoids it. In the same way, your resilience is developed through every setback you overcome, every failure you learn from, and every disappointment you refuse to let define you. Strength is not created after the storm has passed. It is created while you continue standing in the middle of it. An unshakable person understands the importance of self-discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline remains. There will be mornings when you do not feel inspired, days when progress seems invisible, and seasons when giving up appears easier than continuing. Those are the moments that shape your character. Every promise you keep to yourself builds trust within your own mind. Every small act of consistency becomes another brick in the foundation of your confidence. You begin to realize that resilience is not one extraordinary decision, but the result of countless ordinary decisions made with courage and commitment. Humility also plays a vital role in becoming unshakable. True strength does not pretend to know everything or never make mistakes. It remains willing to learn, adapt, and grow. The strongest individuals are not those who never fall. They are those who rise without allowing failure to steal their sense of purpose. They understand that mistakes are teachers rather than permanent labels. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" they ask, "What can this experience teach me?" This shift transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones toward greater wisdom. When your peace is rooted within, the world loses its ability to control your emotions. Praise no longer makes you arrogant, and criticism no longer makes you doubt yourself. Success becomes a reason for gratitude rather than pride, while failure becomes a lesson rather than a life sentence. You stop chasing validation because you have discovered something far more valuable than approval. You have developed a quiet certainty that your worth does not rise with applause or fall with rejection. You walk through life with calm determination, knowing that while circumstances may test you, they can never define you, because the strongest fortress you will ever build is the one that exists within your own mind and heart